Yes, finally, they're making this Pokemon as a pop. What's up, guys? I'm DK Wrestler, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the latest Funko Pop leaks that have surfaced the interwebs. And like usual, there is quite a bit of good stuff to talk about, but also some trash stuff at the same time. But if you end up enjoying this type of content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But nonetheless, let's kick this video off. And speaking of trash, in my opinion, we gotta kick off with some more Biddy Pop related items with arcade cabinets, which have Jurassic Park, Mortal Kombat, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and X-Men. Now, we already know about the arcade cabinets. They debuted them at WonderCon with the early sneak peek with like Sonic the Hedgehog, Wreck-It Ralph, and a couple other ones I can't think of off the top of my head. And as a big Toy Story collector, there was also a Toy Story Biddy Pop arcade that got announced that I'm still contemplating whether I actually want to get it or not. But now we have more of them coming out with these certain licensors, and I can't think of off the top of my head what the Biddy Pop would be for the specific arcade. Then we got ourselves the upcoming Funko Pop Nooks, which we have Snow White with Dwarf's House, Star Wars with Yoda's Hut, and then The Nightmare Before Christmas with Jack Skellington's Room. Now, at first when I saw the picture, I thought these were new Pop Towns, and then I specifically read on top there that is a Pop Nook, which we've already gotten a sneak peek over at New York Toy Fair many months ago with a Tony Stark, and I believe a Harry Potter one that's coming out. So I'm kind of excited to see how these turn out with what we already know about those specific two that have already been shown off. We got ourselves two pops for the Folk of the Air trilogy with Drew Durrett and Carden Greenbrier. Now, I've never heard of this before. It kind of sounds like a book, so I'm just going to assume right now that is a part of the Pop Books lineup. More Zodiac Pops coming out with Pisces, Gemini, and Taurus. And it just so happens that me being born at the end of May, my Zodiac is Gemini, and that's going to be featured here. There had already been a couple of newer ones released with, I believe, Scorpio being one of them, and then way back in the day, we used to have the Pop Zodiac lineup with Freddie Funko dressed up as the different Zodiacs, so I think now, if I'm not mistaken, because I can't exactly remember what the newer ones look like off the top of my head, that they're more of whatever represents that Zodiac with an animal or some sort of creature or whatnot. For the Retro Toys lineup, we got ourselves the Cage Mouse from Mousetrap. This is absolutely phenomenal. They've been really killing it with the Retro Toys lineup as of late with the Mattel 80th anniversary set with Barney, the Chatter telephone. So getting Mousetrap is absolutely awesome, and I can only imagine what this would look like. I think this would have to be, in my opinion, like a premium or some sort of plus. Up next, we have ourselves a TV man with sound effects from Skibidi Toilet. We already have the first wave out. I think the last video we talked about the second wave that's coming out, and now there's already more. Like, I don't know if it's just me because I'm from a different generation and I just don't understand the hype involving Skibidi Toilet. We got ourselves Return of the Living Dead with Zombie Trash and Zombie Suicide. Once again, I don't really know too much about this, but as terms of the photo that I'm looking at right now with the two characters that are on it, it's probably going to look pretty detailed in pop form. We got ourselves a pop of John Rambo with Bo. Is this the first time we're actually getting Rambo pops? I feel like it is, because even though Funko's made tons of stuff into pop form already, I think Rambo hasn't been made. I could be wrong, but I feel like it's something that's actually new. We got ourselves a new wave of Fast and the Furious pops with Dominic Toretto, Brian O'Connor, Letty Ortiz, Tej Parker, and Han Lu. We did have a Dominic Toretto and a Brian O'Connor in the original wave of pops, but we do have 3 additional characters that had never been made previously, which is absolutely awesome. And fingers crossed that they actually make Funko Pop rides, because I think that definitely makes sense for a set of pops for a movie like Fast and the Furious, where it's all about cars, at least for the first like 4 movies. We got ourselves a pop of Fievel Mousekowitz from Fievel Goes West. This looks recognizable, but I'm just really drawing a blank on this. This is something that I feel like MD Shady would know about. New Futurama pops coming out of the pipeline with Super King Bender, Hermes with Mug, Amy, and Sexy Scruffy. This is a pretty cool wave because even though we have yet another Bender, which makes sense because he is the most popular character of the entire series, there are 3 additional pops that are of brand new characters. We've never had pops of Hermes, of Amy, or even Sexy Scruffy. So that's really awesome that we're not only diving into already existing characters in the lineup, but of course brand new characters for the set. We got a set of pops for Disney's Oliver and Company. This is pretty sweet, and I know that a lot of people in the comments on this post are super excited about this set of pops, even potentially getting the entire set depending on how many pops there are. We got ourselves a pop moments for the Fox and the Hound with Todd and Copper. Pretty sweet. It's not too often we've actually had Fox and the Hound pops, so really expanding on this lineup is pretty sweet. We got ourselves some Power Rangers Zeo pops where we have Ranger Gold, Blue, Green, Pink, and Yellow. Not surprised, they've been really milking Power Rangers pops as of late, but these ones, they might look pretty cool with like the different mask designs because you can see the star and then the other shapes involved with the different Power Rangers. We got ourselves a pop premium of Batman with sound effects. I wonder if the sound effects for this Batman is just him saying, "I'm Batman." We got ourselves a pop comic covers of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I guess it is pretty cool that we're getting a comic cover of someone we haven't gotten one of previously, or at least I think. I'm not entirely sure because there's been so many comic book covers that I can't keep track of what's new and what's not new, and if this ends up being exclusive to Target, you know this thing's gonna end up being in clearance. We got ourselves a set of Justice League Dark Pops featuring Zatanna, a 6-inch Swamp Thing, and a deluxe of Constantine. Now these are characters where I believe we have gotten pops of previously, but not too many. Like Zatanna, I believe, was like a Comic-Con exclusive at some point. Swamp Thing, I think we only got once, and I feel like Constantine was a pop that was a part of one of those free comic book day sets. So it is a little bit refreshing because it's something that we haven't gotten a lot of pops for and been milked so many times, like let's say, of course, Batman and Superman. Today I wanted to give a shout out to Sentinel 107, and the reason that they ended up getting a shout out is because they joined our YouTube channel membership, which only cost $1.99 a month. Not only do you get the shout out, but you do get lots of other perks, including early access to every single video and shorts that we produce on this channel. So definitely consider joining our YouTube channel membership. It will be greatly appreciated and it will go a long way of helping out this channel a lot. So definitely consider it, but let's get right back to the video. We got ourselves a Discovery 2-pack for Daft Punk. Really surprising to see Daft Punk on this list considering that they had broken up a few years back, and I felt like the train would have left a long time ago for potential Daft Punk pops, but I feel like a lot of people are going to get hyped about this. We have ourselves pops for The Binding of Isaac, which features Isaac with Dice, Azazel, and Guppy. Doesn't ring a bell for me, but it does have a very unique cartoon styling. It kind of reminds me of that one character. You should be seeing the photo right now of exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe it's made by the same people. We have ourselves a set of pops for Baldur's Gate 3, which features characters like the Emperor and Withers with Scratch. Now, I believe Funko recently have been milking this series, considering that they've been doing a lot of promotional stuff with one of the actresses, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not really surprised that we actually have more pops for this video game coming out. We got ourselves a set of Silent Hill pops, which has James Sutherland, Heather Mason, Elisa Gillespie, Nurse, Robbie the Rabbit, and a premium of Pirate Head. I believe we talked about Silent Hill on the last leaked video, but this is one of those updated ones where they're adding a couple of new characters. Then for all of you anime fans, I'm gonna go through all these one by one and not even bother listing the characters because either you probably know about the characters or the fact that I just cannot pronounce anime names for the most part. So first off, we have ourselves a set of pops for Solo Leveling, Dragon Ball Daima, the classic Naruto series, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, a One Piece pre-time skit set, Jujutsu Kaisen, Hell's Paradise, Afro Samurai, and Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest. Now I recognize some of the names of these animes because I've seen tons of pops before, and especially JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, which I believe are getting their first wave of pops to be announced literally this week. And I know a lot of people have been requesting JoJo's Bizarre Adventure pops since literally probably as long as I've been collecting pops, because whenever I used to look at Funko posts all the time, there would be so many people commenting, "Where's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Where's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?" So not only is there a new set about to be releasing soon, but another wave of them coming out like they do with a lot of animes. And the last set we're going to be talking about in this video is a new wave of Pokemon, which features Charmeleon, Goomy, Zoroark, and a premium of Venusaur. Now this is what I definitely was alluding at the beginning of the video, where we're finally getting a pop of Charmeleon. We've been waiting so long because of course the first set of Pokemon pops had Charmander. And then after that evolution is Charmeleon, but instead of making Charmeleon, they skipped all the way until the last evolution of Charizard, which makes sense considering Charizard is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time. But finally, we're finishing off that set of evolution with Charmeleon, and they even teased it a while back with a Loungefly bag that they did. So I'm really excited about the prospect of a Charmeleon pop being made so that you can do evolutions and pop forms fully. And we got ourselves Venusaur in this set, which of course we have Bulbasaur, and I believe there is an Ivysaur that is on the way. So once again, you'll have another set of evolution. Now I feel like we need to get Wartortle and Blastoise to finish off that water set for Gen 1. I think overall, we just need to complete Gen 1 and just say screw you to the other gens.